Well, she's been called America's love expert,
Isn't it exhausting to be in a bad relationship?
the fairy godmother of relationships,
Don't you dare file for divorce. Don't you dare split up.
and the expert's expert.
If you don't have a love affair with your mate, somebody else will.
Hi, I'm Matt Lattimore, and thanks for joining me. My guest today is Dr. Ellen Kreidman, New York Times best-selling author and highly acclaimed relationship expert. She has appeared on every major talk show, including Oprah, Montel, Sally, Maury, and Barbara Walters' The View. She's been featured in most major newspapers, magazines, and radio shows around the nation. For over 20 years, she's been changing people's lives. Today, maybe the day she changes your life as well. Ellen, it is so nice to finally meet you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
You know, it's got to feel wonderful knowing that you're making a difference in so many people's lives. Now, 20 years of doing this, what is it that keeps you motivated?
I'll tell you, I'm motivated by what's happened in my own life. In 1991, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And then in 1995, I had a reoccurrence and I had to undergo a bone marrow transplant. And I'm here to tell you that when you are hooked up to life support and you have no hair, no eyelashes, no fingernails, no toenails, and you are as close to death as you can be, you know the meaning of life. And it is to love somebody with all your heart and soul and to have them love you back. And that's it, to give love and receive love. And I remember praying, please God, if you let me live, I promise that I will spend the rest of my life showing people how easy it is to find someone to love, to stay in love, and prevent divorce. And you know what, since I'm still here, I never forget that promise.
Wow, you know, when you go through something like that, I'm sure it has to have a major impact on your life.
It does. What you find out is life is too short to be unhappy. You know, we don't know how much longer we have here. And I hear people always postponing happiness. You know, someday when the kids are older, someday when we make more money, someday when I lose 10 pounds, whatever, that's when I'll concentrate on each other. That's when I'll be happy. And you know, because I deal with so many people and I see those somedays never coming because of illness, death, or divorce, I know that the time to make your relationship the best it can be is now. It isn't some imaginary time in the future that will never come. All we really have is today.
Now, I know there are a lot of people out there that think, listen, I certainly don't need this program. We have a good relationship.
You're right. You know, if I asked the average couple, why are you together, they would look at me like I was crazy, and they would say, because we're in love, that's why.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
Well, love is not enough. 1 out of every 2 marriages now are ending in divorce, and everybody was in love in the beginning. It's human nature that the longer we are together, the more we're going to take each other for granted. Unless you have a program like this that as soon as you get off track, it puts you right back on track.
Right, right.
We live in a society, Matt, that it takes 5 years to become a plumber. And all it takes to get married are 2 willing bodies and a marriage license.
That's it.
Something is wrong with this picture. We keep taking courses for our professional life, and everybody I know, they get raises, they get promotions, but they do nothing for their personal life, and then they don't understand why it falls apart. So along with love, how about getting solid information to show you how to keep what you've got now and to make it even better?
When you're a young mother and you have 2 kids under the age of 3 and they're both in diapers, it's like you're a big cow and everybody's sucking off you. We kind of had fallen into that space of, well, this is the way it is when you got 2 little kids. Maybe in 10 years we'll get back together. That's a real depressing feeling. It's very hard. I mean, the focus goes on the caretaking of the children, and all of a sudden this love affair we were having wasn't there anymore. I didn't know what to do. I was just living day to day. Ellen's program changed my life. It changed my life with my husband. It changed my life in general. I don't know that if we hadn't gotten into Ellen's program that we'd still be married.
The day that I take my last breath, I don't know when that's going to be. It could be in the hospital, it could be home, whenever it's going to be. I am not going to say to myself, oh, geez, I wished I had cleaned the kitchen floor more. What I am going to say is, I am so glad that Dick and I created all these memories together.
Ellen, people all over the country are saying that you know the secret to falling in love and staying in love. So what's your secret?
When I give this piece of information, I think every major talk show host in the country asks me to repeat it. I remember Oprah having me repeat it backstage, so here goes.
Okay.
A man falls in love because of the way he feels about himself when he's with a woman. And when he doesn't feel good anymore, he's going to find another woman that does make him feel good. Yeah. And that's really what an affair is about. It's not that he's in love with this other woman. What he's in love with is the way he feels about himself when he's with the other woman.
Oh, okay.
And a woman feels exactly the same way. Women will say to me, Ellen, now that I'm in love, I feel beautiful, I feel sexy, I feel needed, I feel special, and we have a right to feel like that for the rest of our lives. And when we don't, we try to find somebody who does make us feel good. So we continually have to ask ourselves this question: how does my mate feel about themselves when they're with me? Do they feel wanted, special, needed? Maybe you don't even know. And what about you? How do you feel about yourself when you're with your mate? Well, my program is going to show you how to make your mate feel so good about who they are, they would never dream of being with anybody else.
Now, a lot of people think that the reason that they're having problems in their relationship is because they're not making enough money or they're not attractive enough.
Well, I'll tell you something, they're dead wrong, because it isn't about getting prettier or thinner or making more money or becoming more intelligent. Some of the most beautiful people in the world are by themselves. Some of the wealthiest people are lonely. This is about how does another human being feel about themselves when they're in your presence.
You know, I'll bet you get a lot of people who are sorry they didn't get your program a long time ago.
I do, and it gets me crazy, and I'm going to scream if I hear one more person say, Ellen, if I had this information 2 years ago, I never would have gotten divorced. Or, oh my goodness, if I had heard this a year ago, I would already be in a relationship. I know that nothing happens by accident. If people are listening right now to this show, it is for a reason. I remember a woman calling me up and saying it was 2 o'clock in the morning, she couldn't sleep. She and her husband had just talked about separating, and there I was being interviewed saying, don't you dare file for divorce unless you listen to this program. Well, she ordered it, she listened to it, and she gave it to everyone she knows. She's given it to her married children, she's given it to her friends, people that she works with. There are no accidents. I know everything is by design, and I don't care if someone's listening and they need a major overhaul in their relationship or just a fine tune-up. I know this program is going to change their life.
After being married for 20 years, I began to realize that our relationship was not what I wanted it to be. It was a sad situation, and I didn't know how to get out of it. I happened to see one of Ellen's tapes and thought it had excellent advice for me, and got the tapes for Linda, and basically it's changed our marriage and put it back together again. I was about to throw away a marriage of almost 25 years now, cut my wealth in half, and emotionally scar my children for life for something that was really easy to do. My life was a lot more fun and a lot less stressful.
Ellen, do you think that a lot of couples break up because they just don't understand the important differences between men and women?
Absolutely. And let's talk about an important difference, sex. To a man, sex is the most meaningful demonstration of love and self-worth. So many times when a couple has an argument, his way of saying, I'm so sorry, please forgive me, is through the act of making love. And the woman is sitting there saying, you've got to be kidding. You think I'm turned on now? We've just had an argument and you want to make love? But you know what? She needs to hear the words, I'm sorry, and know he really means it.
That